For this video, we're working on the sheet called Invoice. In front of us, we have a basic company invoice. Most of the detail is filled in, and if we click onto cell E9, we can see that the total amount calculation is already set up as quantity multiplied by unit price, or C9 by D9. Once we include the unit price of the products in the D column, that calculation will update. The products being sold are listed in cells A9 to A12, starting with chancho mayo. All the information about those products is contained on the products sheet. So let's take a look. We can see that our products are listed in the first column of the table. So this is the column that we will be looking up. We can see that chancho mayo is shown in cell B10. We want to return the unit price, which is the fifth column of our table. So if we look at the 10th row and the fifth column of our table, we can see that the result will be 187. Let's return to the invoice sheet and click on to cell D9. Click on the FX button. Now, I have Vlookup in here, but if you don't, then change over to the All category, click on anything in the lower window, type VL very quickly, and with Vlookup selected, click OK. We can see that the Vlookup has 3 required fields and 1 field that is not required. However, we will be using all 4 fields, which is the most common way. So the first thing it wants to know is, what do we want to look up? Click on to cell A9 chancho mayo, which is the product that we're going to look up. Click into the table array field. It now wants to know where is the table that chancho mayo must be in the first column of. It's on the products sheet. Click onto any cell in the dataset, hold down Ctrl and press A once to select it all. Now press F4 to make it absolute because we will be fill handling. Click down into the column index num box and we'll jump straight back onto the sheet where we're carrying out the calculation. Now it wants to know what column number of the table do we want to return a result from. The unit price is the 5th column of our table, so type in 5 to let it know that we want the result to come from the 5th column. And we can see immediately that the result is coming back at 187. Click down into the range lookup, and we always fill this in if we want an exact result. Even though we can see that we have the correct result for this first calculation, we cannot guarantee the other results if we don't fill this in. Now, this area is what is known as a logical value. And if you've looked at any of the videos to do with if and related functions, you'll know that when you see the word logical, it means true or false. And if we want an exact result, we type the word false into the box. However, I'm a bit lazy, so let's delete that out and place in a 0 instead. And we can see that it puts in the word false for us. So 0 and false are the exact same thing. Let's go ahead and click OK, then fill handle down to get the unit price for the other products. In our next video, we'll look at how and why a Vlookup can go wrong when we don't use that range lookup area. If you're moving on to that next video called How Vlookup Can Go Wrong, then you can keep this workbook open.